Red Price here, CTO of IndySoft, with today's Tip Tuesday. Today we're going to be talking about running IndySoft client over a network. One of the things when performing the software this way or running it over a network is speed can come into play, especially depending upon your network speed, that sort of thing. So you'll notice when running IndySoft, let me go to the directory here. We can see that there's a lot of files when you run the dashboard, which is the main client. It actually uses a lot of other files in here. Over a network, that can actually be time consuming because every time it has to load a file, it pulls the file over the network. So a more efficient way to run the software is to actually run a utility called ISDashboard. Let's find it here, ISDashboard There we go. And so what this does is it will run the dashboard just like it normally would, but first it will pull all the necessary files locally. So there's a little bit of a pause in the beginning, but once those files are there, it will then run them locally from your temp folder going forward. For this to work, you have to have a connection settings.ini file. So to do this, you would run your database settings and save it. In this case, I've saved it as MSSQL. I can say go to documents directory, and there's my connection settings.ini. So if you take this file and put it in the same directory as your executables, which you would generally do with a shared network installation, meaning there's a zero install, you simply point to an executable. It does require this, though, to know which database to connect to. This keeps everybody connecting to the exact same database settings. So what you would do is copy this generally to your network location. So here I've got an actual network location here, my Y drive called IndySoft on Network. And then I would simply paste that in here. I believe there's already one here. Connection settings.ini right there. This is required to use this feature. So now if say my IT gave me a link and they said, all right, just use this to run the software. Again, the nice thing is there is no install necessary. You can just simply run it. But if I run ISDashboardOverNetwork, this is the link that you would want to run when running this way. When I click it, it actually pulls up a console application, what we call this in Windows. As you see, it's pretty fast. It's simply copied this locally, and now I can log in. And so now it's actually very efficient in the way that's operating because it's pulling everything locally. It's no longer pulling from the network. And you can prove this out by, if I go to Task Manager, go to Details and ISDashboard, and say Open File Location. There we go. You can see the files are IndySoft Dev, App Data, Local Temp, IndySoft Over Network. So it's in a temporary file. So if I deleted these, it would simply do it again. It would simply recopy the files. But it checks every time to make sure that the files are up to date. And once copied, it will not do that again. So if I close the client and then run this again, it instantly will launch the client. And again, it did not need to copy any files. So I hope this helps you with your running IndySoft over a network. I think it's a great way to run the product, especially lessening the burden on IT to have to distribute it. And thanks for your time. Happy New Year.